Paul, easy. Hey friends, so it's been a while since I filmed, so I figured I'd get the tripod out. I have a lot of stuff I want to get done today. Today is Friday, and Hurricane Ian, which I think now is technically a tropical storm probably, it's supposed to hit Virginia tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get high winds, but we're supposed to get a lot of rain, and it's supposed to rain starting 2 p.m. today, Friday, all the way through possibly Wednesday of next week, which is nuts. So I'm curious to see how much rain we actually get. This weekend, we are celebrating one of my girlfriends. It's Paul's best friend's mom. It's her birthday. We're going there tomorrow for like a little play date. So I wanted to make her, this is my grand scheme of things to get done today. I told her husband that I make cupcakes. I told him I make dessert. So I'm going to make cupcakes. I want to make her a fall scented candle and fall scented body scrub. I intended to do other things, but the week just got away from me. I have a couple new little gadgets. So the cupcakes, I'm doing a little bit of a cheat. This was from a Target video a while ago. These were on clearance. I'd never seen this before. Maybe that's why they're on clearance. It's just Kodiak protein cake mix. So I figured this would be cool. I have 2 of these, and I don't need like all these for myself. And it makes 24 cupcakes. Whenever I make cupcakes, it's always like 18, 20. So I'm gonna make those. If I have cream cheese, I'll make cream cheese frosting. If not, I'll just do a regular frosting and some sprinkles or something. So those will be done. I'm gonna make those today. And then for the candle, I always use this type of beeswax. And I went ahead last month and bought myself one of these melting pots. So I was always making the candles, just melting it in a glass Pyrex bowl over a pot of boiling water. It is a pain in the butt to clean. If you've ever melted beeswax for candles, you know. So I was watching another YouTuber who said that she has a dedicated pot, or even recommends something like this for candle making, and you melt the wax in it, pour it into whatever your vessel, and then you just leave whatever residual wax in here for the next time. I make candles not so much in the summer, but I do definitely for Christmas gifts, for the holidays. I'm going to get on Amazon this month like a wood burning candle wick, which I'm really excited about. Like those, I think it's Warwick candles. They sound like crackling fire. They sell those on Amazon, so I'm going to make one of those for me. So I thought this is a really cool investment. It was not expensive by any means. I am just wondering if I need to either put this in a double boiler or just put it on, I have like a warm setting on my stove, if that would be bad or not. But candles are pretty easy, and I even made it easier for myself. The last time I made candles, which was a while ago, I just went ahead and took the jars. I do not like these jars, these narrow mouth jars, so I'm trying to get rid of them. And I was like, well, I'll just use them as candles. So I went ahead and glued wicks into them, and I just have 2 left. So I have 1 for her, and if I have any left over, I'll just make a candle for me. But I don't really need a candle, but I just got 2 out just so I have them. And then the hand scrub is the super easy one. It's just sugar and olive oil. That's my favorite. And if there's some left over, awesome. My hands are already getting dry. And what else am I doing? My Thrive box came, so I want to go ahead and film that, get that all put away. And I was supposed to wash my hair this morning, and the kiddos just were like, nope, you're not going to have time to do that. So I didn't, and I feel really gross. So that's why my hair is up and looking all sorts of crazy. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mess here, but this is some essential oils I got on Amazon a couple years ago. The quality is probably not that great. I honestly just want to use them up, and candles use a lot of essential oils. So I've limited it down to these 2 are the ones that I'm going to be using today. So I have pumpkin pie I think I'm going to use on the body scrub, and apple cider I'm going to use in the candles. So I'm going to use like 40 drops of this in both candles. I'll wait till the candle wax is melted. And this is the body scrub. I'm just going to use a few. So I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to do a pound of beeswax pellets, which is this, and a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. Put them in my little pitcher, and it does say on the box, do not put directly on heat. So where was that? Over here. I won't do that. I'll put it in a pot of water and just let it slowly melt on the stove and just kind of babysit a little bit while I get other things done. Okay, I'm gonna change this up a little bit. I'm actually only gonna make 1 candle, and from the site I'm looking at, that calls for a 1/2 pound of wax. So I'm just gonna measure that, because I don't think that's all gonna fit in this little canister. Could be wrong. Okay, that looks better. And then I'll just save this for another day. So I'm adding a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And if you look on Beesworks website where you can find this recipe, I believe it says that the coconut oil helps the wax not burn as fast, I think. I'm going to put this in a pot of water, let it just hang out on the stove till it completely melts, and then we'll come back and add the essential oils. I don't want that, whatever these are made of, to burn off while it's melting, so that will take a minute. Okay, so this one could not be easier. I love this recipe, and it actually works really, really well. So here we go. 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have done this with coconut oil before, but I don't like when it hardens. I feel like it's kind of difficult to use. And then I'm going to use 5 drops of an essential oil. And like I said, I'm using this cheapo, this one's Harvest Spice. I probably in the future will just make my own and get all these ingredients myself. But time being, it's nice. I actually got this fall pack. Oh, I said I was gonna use something else. Oh well. I got this fall pack, and then I got another one for the holidays. I really just wanted the Christmas tree scent out of that. And if this isn't enough to fill this jar, I can just make more. I'm actually going to add another 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 more tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just trying to beef up the volume a little bit. You can see that this is clearly an exact science. I don't know if you can hear that. Paul is watching The Good Dinosaur on Pixar. I tried to keep it low, but I feel like every time I choose a day to do a lot of filming like I'm doing today, it's always like overcast and horrible for the light situation. And my downstairs where I usually do most of my filming is very dark anyway. I do have a ring light. Matt got it for me for Christmas last year, but it has to be plugged in, so it limits where I can put it. And I know Paul's just gonna play with it. So I will use it eventually. I haven't really gotten a lot of use out of that just yet. So all my videos are just so dark compared to many of the YouTubers I follow. One day that will change. So here are these little stout, I don't know what you call this, mason jars. They're 8 ounce. I love these for personal care products because you can like really get your hands in there. So then I'm just gonna fill it up. And with this type of jar, I like to really kind of push it to the sides. And like I said, if there's any of this left over, I will happily use it. My hands are already getting dry. I might have a little left over. Let's see. So over the weekend, we had a birthday party for me. That's where I did a Costco video, and I talked about how I bought literally everything from Costco. I didn't make a solitary thing, so it was a really nice party. And I said no gifts. I said presents is enough presents for me. I just wanted to hang out with all the people that I love and love hanging out with. But of course, you know, I would do the same thing. People got me a couple little things here and there. But one of my girlfriends got me a shower melt, which is like a bath bomb, but you put it in the bottom of your shower. I have not tried it yet. It was from a shop downtown here in Warrenton, Virginia, I think is where she got it. And I have to show you this little scoop that came with it because I was like, I want to get those on Amazon. I thought it'd be so cute with something like this. So she calls it Crumbles and Dust, but look at this cute little scoop. Isn't that sweet? I was like, I bet I can find something like that on Amazon and use that with my scrubs. I don't know if it's actually helpful, but I thought that was so sweet. It's like a little, I don't know what that is, like 1/2 teaspoon or something like that, like a little wooden spoon, and then just the raffia, I guess, around there. Isn't that so cute? So maybe I'll get that for Christmas gifts, things like that. Okay, so this is done. I have a label, it's in my office, I'll do that a little bit later. So the hand scrub is done. So our candle wax here is melting. Let me just see if this is hot. I actually put a mason jar lid thing in there so it's not resting directly on the bottom. I'm just gonna keep this on a low simmer. It's already doing its thing. I didn't even mix it at all. The handle kind of stays over the side. I will say the handle is not hot. So I'm just letting that melt, and then as soon as that melts, I'll mix in the essential oils and we'll pour that and let it sit. Tilly's hanging out here. I know she probably needs a diaper change, and I'm gonna feed her some toast, I think, while I do the rest of a couple other things. Paul, what are you doing? What do you have? What are those?
I have scissors.
Yeah, what do you cut with scissors?
Giant pickle and trees.
Wow. So Paul had got this as a Christmas gift. It says 4+, but we're working on scissor skills. His KiwiCo box came with some scissors. We do kind of like I'm doing air quotes, you can't see me, preschool stuff in the morning while Tilly takes her nap. And one of the things we did today was scissor skills. So that's what he's working on over there.
I'm looking up from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet.
I'm pleasantly surprised how well this is going. Okay, so the wax is actually almost melted, so as soon as I finish these cupcakes, we're good back to that. Sissy is kind of losing her mind over there, so I'll get to you in 2 secs, girl. This said to use an electric mixer, but there's like sprinkles in there, and I was afraid it was just gonna like bleed, so I just did it by hand with a whisk. I did not whisk it for 2 minutes, it's fine. Tomorrow is October 1st, so these are the cupcake options I have. I have this cute little, who is this, Frankenstein, a haunted house, Matilda. I have these cute dots or this flower pattern. It is a birthday. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So I just use the silicone, lay them out on a cookie sheet, put these in, we're gonna fill them up, 350 for 16 minutes. I don't know if Matilda has 16 minutes. All right, let's do this.
You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
So I have a very bad habit of overfilling cupcakes. I have, I don't know, 18 or so. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna throw these in the oven at 350. It says 16 to 18 minutes, so we shall see. I did taste the raw batter because I am a cake batter person, and they taste very proteiny to me, like the Kodiak cakes do, and it looks like they have oat flour and then like whey protein and basically like protein powder in them to make them 6 grams of protein, but I'm here for it. Toddlers are here for it, so these are going in the oven. Okay, so I have my little jar here, and this is actually, Matt has these wooden coffee stirrers. We have a big box of them. Why he has these, I don't know, but I thought this would be perfect. You can use a chopstick or a pencil too. I'm gonna use this to hold the wick straight after I pour it, but I'm also going to use it to stir in my essential oils, and I'm going to be using, what I do, I have this, so I'm gonna do 15 drops. This one is apple cider. So bring this over. Like I said, I have a little mason jar lid in there just so it was like almost like a rack hanging off of here. So that worked really well. It's nice and melted, as you can see. It looks a little darker when it's melted and then it lightens up. We are going to do, what did I just say? 15 drops. 15 drops of this. Give that a little stir. And then I'm just gonna put this into position. And then just pour this right in. I can move that wick if it keeps moving on me. Not as high as I would like. It's only coming up to here on the jar, but that's okay. This is for one of my girlfriends. She will appreciate it. I could melt some more, but I don't know if that's gonna like mess this up. That was a half a pound. I think I'd want to take that maybe to like, I have to figure out the ounces to figure out this whole jar. But that was not quite a pint jar. But now, see this? See how there's wax still in here? I'm just gonna let this cool and put this right back in the box like this. Even the scent, it's so minuscule amount, I'm not worried about it. So that makes candle making so much easier. I'm just gonna let this cool. Try to keep the wax or the wick centered. And then I will pop a label on this one too. So Tilly is eating solids and is a hungry girl. I'm still striving to breastfeed her 7 to 8 times a day. So that is her main source of food, but the girl likes to eat and I'm here for it. I gave her a piece of whole wheat sourdough toast that I made, toasted it, and then lightly put some jelly on it. And it's the Thrive jelly that's like 1/3 less sugar. And she's still hungry. So now I'm giving her favorite, our berries right now. She demolished that 2-section thing of raspberries from Costco, which is like my favorite, so I had to share. But now I'm just giving her strawberries. And I just give her, I make sure they're not really the hard ones, and Costco is such great fruit. These are amazing. So I just take a fork and rip the top off and give them to her, and she can hold them. She kind of sucks on them. And yeah, she eats everything. But it is 11 o'clock. I made myself another coffee just because it's like, I feel like it's a cold day. It's not. It's probably like 65 degrees outside or something like that. But I've got like the cold vibes and baking. So I made some coffee. It is, what do you say, you're losing daylight, except for as a mom, I'm losing morning time because nap time is slowly approaching. I still want to do the Thrive box. I want to film that, which just means I only got 1 box this time. So it's not as much, but I need to take everything in, display it, film it. I could do that this afternoon. Maybe I will do that. But I also need to really quickly feed my sourdough starter since we will be here tomorrow for breakfast now. Paul's still soccer is most likely going to be canceled. We're supposed to get like an inch of rain tomorrow. Are any of you guys getting hit by Ian? Hopefully you are all safe where you are. If you are, let me know what happened to you. What's your experience below? But we're going to be here for breakfast. Usually Saturday mornings are total chaos. His practice is at 8:30. We just have to leave at 8:15. I get up in time. I always get up 2 hours before I have to go anywhere, so I have time to like eat something really fast. Matt is a get up like 15 minutes before I have to leave the house for anything. So it's chaos. I don't usually make breakfast for everybody on Saturdays. It's been a while. So I think I'm gonna make English muffins, sourdough English muffins. I have not done those. So I need to get my sourdough starter fed. Actually gave my girlfriend some, and I don't know if you can see, it's like empty. So and there's a little hooch on top. I'll pour that out. So I'm gonna feed him, it's 11, and then at 8 o'clock I'll put the dough in my KitchenAid mixer and get that going for tomorrow morning. And I also am making water kefir. I think I'm gonna do a video on this soon, once I feel like I've mastered it again. So I made the water kefir. I used coconut sugar. I used a couple different things. I finally got it to ferment. Then we went on 2 road trips. I tried to put my water kefir in the fridge and it like has never been the same, and it got weird and slimy. Then I read you shouldn't use coconut water, to use regular sugar, and to rinse it and let it sit in the fridge. So I've tried a bunch of things. I'm on like my 3rd or 4th batch of trying just white sugar, seeing if I can get it back to be carbonated. It's one of those things where even if you're recipe developing, I always say that it's always most likely edible. It may not look nice, may not be exactly what you want, but you can always eat it. Same thing with kefir water. It's not as carbonated as soda as I like it, but it's flat essentially, but I still drink it. It's got the probiotic benefits. You can throw it in your smoothie. I've done that as well. So my kefir water schedule right now is I feed it every 2 days and I let it sit in these bottles for 1 day. So it's kind of easy for me to remember. Like I looked over at my little fermentation station over there and I've got my mason jar of it being fed and 2 full bottles. So I put these 2 full bottles in the fridge. Then tomorrow I see no bottles and I know that I need to feed it and bottle it and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a video on water kefir in the near future. If you have any tips on water kefir that have helped you, please let me know. So I just realized I don't have to feed that. That makes my life a little bit easier. I do just need to feed this sourdough starter, let that hang out on the counter all day, and then I'm going to film my Thrive. 3 minutes on the cupcakes. Paul's movie's almost done. One more thing, before I feed my sourdough starter, look what I found. One day, I will be able to mill my own flour. I don't know where I'd put a flour mill, for lack of a better term. I don't know where I'd put that in my kitchen just yet, but one day I want to make my own flour, especially if I keep doing the sourdough like I have been doing. The farm stand where I get my eggs Like I've shared that I get like 10 dozen at a time. They also have grass-fed, non-homogenized milk, I think is what it's called. Like the cream goes to the top and it's local. So I got my milk and my eggs from this farm, and they're expanding on the products that they're getting. They have freshly milled flour. It's in the freezer because the oils in the grains, once you mill it, can sometimes go, I guess rancid is the term, I'm not sure. So it's a stone ground whole wheat flour, unsifted, and it's hard red winter wheat. And this is from, I hope I do not pronounce this wrong, Grapewood Farms in Montross, Virginia. Montross. Virginia grown, Virginia ground. I love it. So I've been using this as a starter because when I do sourdough starter, the whole wheat it loves it. I would love to make bread out of all of this, but I use just, usually end up using white flour to beef up my recipe. Like when I made the whole wheat bread that she is eating. But anyway, I'm getting way off topic. They have their things, so it is, tomorrow is October 1st. The same farm that sells this is selling turkeys for Thanksgiving. Isn't that wild? Like I feel like we went from like a week or two ago, it was like 80-degree summer, and now it's like boom, Thanksgiving turkeys, cold weather, and everything like that. So we had thought about getting our turkey from them, but then ButcherBox put out member deals, and not only do they have a large turkey, I think, if I'm corrected, I'll put it here. I think I saw they had 3 sizes of turkeys, which they have not had before. Usually it was a small and a large, and I think they had another size. They also have turkey breasts. I was so excited because I like turkey, not just on Thanksgiving. So I got a small turkey from us because I don't know who all is coming yet here for Thanksgiving. I don't go anywhere for Thanksgiving, not with littles, it's too hard. But a small is probably fine. And then I got turkey breasts so we can have those throughout the year. I love ButcherBox. I've had it for like 5 years, I think. Pretty much when they almost came out is when we started using ButcherBox. So I have learned where I live, I don't get ButcherBox in the summer. It melts, it gets lost, the boxes like get condensation and just fall apart. I have not had good experiences. May not be ButcherBox, it may be whoever ships it. I think it's FedEx. Let me check out my Cupcakes. It may not be ButcherBox, it may be the shipping carrier. So anyway, I skipped the entire summer. The last time I got meat was in March, and we're completely backed up because it was last year? It was last November. I did my second order of the fall for ButcherBox. It was like $600. It got lost. So I, complained. I was like, where is my order? I was so scared I wasn't going to get a Thanksgiving turkey. They told me it was lost in the mail, and they gave me a credit for the $600. And I didn't know this, but they reshipped it. And then the original one came here. So I did email them. They're like, oh no, keep it all. I was like, holy smokes. So I like never complained to ButcherBox again because I feel like I got like this mental credit to like live up to because sometimes I forget stuff. So I got 2 $600 orders of meat. So my meat freezer is still packed. We're working on it, but the member deals they had were ridiculous, especially with inflation. They had bacon, 10 packs for $50. I have not seen that in a very long time, especially with the price of bacon now, $5 a pack for, basically whole 30 approved bacon. So I got so much stuff. Me and Matt were looking at it last night, and I whittled it down to, are you ready for this? $1,200 of meat. I tried to get it so that I think it will ship and arrive next Saturday. It probably won't. I'll film it. I'll film everything that I get. So I was telling Matt that in there is our turkey. We got the ButcherBox ham a couple years ago, and I did not care for it. It was just weird tasting. So I don't think I'm not worried about the ham for Christmas. So I think where I was going with that, I think that order of meat is gonna take us all the way through early spring, and then I'll do one more before the summer hits. But it's just so much meat at one time. But I could not pass up those member deals. They were so good, especially with the price of meat right now. I'll do a video on it. I'll do the original prices, how much I got, how much I saved. So that is coming up soon, a massive ButcherBox video. I just wanted to share that. All right. Let me get these cupcakes out of the oven. They actually look pretty good. And then I will feed the sourdough starter. And then I think we're going to take a nap break because it's getting close. Are you working hard, buddy?
Mom, it was a big crunch.
It was a big crunch? You're working so hard, buddy. That looks so good. Good job, honey. And what do we cut with paper? What do we cut with our scissors?
Giant paper.
Paper, yeah. And our scissors sharp?
No.
Yes, they are. We have to be very careful with our scissors, right? And what would you like, girl? You want this, don't you? What is that? Show everybody how you eat a strawberry. It is so good. Yeah. And Mo's over there being so good. Are you, Mo? So these came out so cute. Look at this one. It's giving him a hug. So I'm just gonna let these completely cool. I'll take them out of the silicone in a minute once I can handle them so they don't sweat in there, and I'll just put them on a little rack. We'll frost those later this afternoon. So there's just like some watery hooch in here. I'm just gonna pour that off. Sometimes I don't even bother. Since it's gonna be a nice long rainy weekend, I'm probably gonna do baking of some sort. So I put quite a bit in there. I don't measure anymore, I just kind of eyeball. I'm looking for pancake batter. So I filled it like that much with flour, if you can tell. And now I'm just gonna add regular old tap water. And then my favorite utensil to mix it with is a fork. I love how bubbly it is already. You see that? I don't know if that will pick that up or not. Can you see how bubbly that is? I don't know if it's picking up. It's very bubbly, I'll show you in a second. And then I just wet my hand. Always clean fingers. This is why I like a fork versus a spoon, because then I take my wet hand and I just get all of that off, because you really don't want flour down your drain or your dishwasher. So it comes off so much easier, in my opinion, than a spoon. All right, put the glass lid on top, and then I'm just gonna let this hang out for about 8 hours. Okay, so here's where we're at. It's 4 o'clock. She slept for 2 hours. Paul is still sleeping. It did start raining while we were upstairs, but I don't think we have any measurable amount of rain. We're supposed to get like an inch tomorrow. It's craziness. So tomorrow's Saturday, Paul has soccer, and I was really hoping it was canceled. It's not. They actually just moved the time and moved it to a old gymnastics place. Bless you. And even in the email, it said, warning, the parking lot is very small. So I was like, great. I'm like really hoping that Matt comes home and it's like, we just won't go. So I'll see what he says. But I want to get these cupcakes iced. So I am doing my favorite cream cheese frosting recipe ever. I took these out, so they've been sitting out. So it's 1 stick of butter, 1 block of cream cheese, and then 1 pound of powdered sugar. And I'm gonna do it in my mixer just to make it more easy, which is right back there. I am not using all that frosting on these cupcakes. There's only like 18 of them, right? So what I'll do is I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag, write frosting on it, and freeze it. And the next time I make cinnamon rolls, boom, I have the frosting ready to go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna set her in her little chair, give her some Cheerios so I can make this frosting and get these cupcakes frosted. Then I just have to get my girlfriend's little birthday present put together. I already have a gift bag up here. I just need to run downstairs and get some paper. Matt told me this morning that he wanted to get out as early as possible today from work. He always says that, and it never happens. It's 4 o'clock, so I'm expecting a text from him any minute now that he is coming home. I feel you. So I'd like to share with you some of the crazy things that I do. So there is a Tupperware that I want to put the cupcakes in. Now I could go and get a footstool, which is downstairs in the basement, but I'm gonna use my girl tongs to get it. And I'm tall too. But look, like a charm. That's why you should have long tongs, not only for grilling, but for getting tall stuff. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up so I know. Leave me some comments below. I love hearing from you. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.